Hello world, Bob got here with another transmission. I just got a question. Has it dawned on you yet? Has it dawned on you yet that you have been being farmed all this time? And the people who came before you have been being farmed as well. Including the narratives, including the stories and the myths, and the rules and the laws, and all of those things that only exist if they can be defended and enforced. Have you caught on yet? Or are you still telling me that I'm the liar? Are you still telling me that I'm the one that's lost and I don't get it? And I'm just one of these stupid secular people. I'm just one of these conspiracy theorists. Do you get it yet? You still don't understand that you have been being farmed? Your ancestors have been being farmed and programmed and indoctrinated to believe and see the world through a certain lens. Look at it like this. Because you still even have some people who prioritize race. And they will say things like, oh, well, it was the white race that came up with this, or it was the black race that came up with this, or the Asian race that came up with this. And the sad part about that is, these people attach themselves to the color of their skin as if simply by them having the same color as another person that built something, they make it seem like they built it themselves. When in reality, those quote-unquote great minds that come up with those inventions see themselves far above those other people who say, oh, we came up with this because we the same color. They don't even look at you like one of them, no matter what color you are. That's why you still down here having conversations with the rest of us at the bottom, because you don't even get to talk to those people who came up with these ideas. You never even seen those people. The reason you know you're being farmed, like look at an actual farm with pigs, cows, chicken, all that kind of stuff. A successful farm on an industrial scale will be making a lot of money, bringing in a lot of profits, having a good life. But when you look at the way that they're treating their animals, the way that they're treating their flock and their herd, then you see that they aren't having a good life. They aren't bringing in the biggest profits and all of that type of stuff. And when you look at what's happening in society today, you see that same thing happening on that scale. Highest profit margins ever, biggest recorded, turnarounds and everything. So they bringing in all of these profit, but they keep on cycling out employees, just like at a regular farm, bro. The farmer make all of the money, while the cattle, the chickens, all of them just keep getting sent through the ringer. You still don't see it yet, huh? You still think you're going to vote your way out of this one. You still think this is all organic. You still think that those people who be on there shouting and marching down the streets is going to change your life somehow. What did the Million Man March do for anybody if they still complaining today? What did the Civil Rights Marches do for anybody if they still complaining today? Exactly as I said, when I seen all of those people cheering and saying, oh yeah, we got these Buddhist monks that's walking from this place to this place, that's so ambitious, that's so heartfelt, and ain't do shit. Y'all still complaining. You still don't get it yet, huh? All of the marching don't mean anything. That's why I always say the revolution will not be televised. All of that stuff that you see on TV literally is political theater. It's propaganda. That's why what I do, somebody asked me 2 days ago when I was on live stream, do I have any nefarious agendas? And actually I do. My channel is a propaganda indoctrination machine. But this is counter propaganda and counter programming to the degenerate programming that they show us all day. I got into the point where, because I used to fall victim to this thing where people say, oh, don't judge or don't shame or you shouldn't say that. But then I had to sit back and realize, like, they only telling me that when I speak out against what the degeneracy is. But as long as the degeneracy get to talk however they want and nobody's pushing back on them about them dressing half naked, about them walking down the street half naked in front of children on the sides of the street while they having pride parades, while they letting men in women's bathrooms, while they opening borders, while they doing all of this, everything that's happening in society, even with the Charlie Kirk and the Kevin Samuels and all of these, the way that those things played out, It's like, no, y'all not condemning them for having their think pieces and the way that they talk. And that is also propaganda and programming on a mass scale. So that's why I decided to make myself my own propaganda machine. That's counterculture to what they talking about. This content, as I always say, is not for everybody. There will be tribal building, and there will be people who are like-minded as myself. If you want to go along and get along and stay on that train of trends and stuff, that's one of the biggest indicators that you're dealing with an NPC, is if you can clearly see that they're following trends. And certain trends started thousands and thousands of years ago, and people have passed these trends down all through their lineage. If you're one of those people, we simply don't see eye to eye. And that don't mean that we will never see eye to eye. But right now we don't see eye to eye. I'm trying to get people to understand that the world is a stage. And right now, how can I say this to make it make sense? I don't have any proof, but the patterns that I'm seeing, the way that the movies are being pushed out and the way that the music is being pushed out, the certain things I'm just seeing in alignment, and certain things that are being shown to me, like certain movie plots, like Get Out, Leave the World Behind, all of these types of things being showed years in advance, 2012, etc., being showed years in advance, is also to almost to me like it's a warning. Some people can look back and say, well, they were prophecies that came to pass. In the meantime, they were just production studios and they were just, music and stuff like that. But when you go back to something like Aleister Crowley or what's the name? George Orwell, we can also, at the time when they came out, people were like, oh, they tinfoil, they just conspiracy. And then that stuff started to come to pass. So was it them prophesizing it or them warning that something was about to happen? And a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing right now is almost as if we're being warned for something that's about to happen. And I don't want you to be blindsided. There is a major shift that has already taken place. I used to say a shift is coming, but I try to get people to understand that the shift has already happened. You have already been rug pulled. The stuff that you thought was important, you got to adjust. You got to adapt. The old rules and the old systems and the old values are no longer being upheld by your entire civilization. The entire country, damn near half the whole Western civilization, is no longer prioritizing the rules that they used to reward people based on. Now it's about, can you adapt in the meantime? Can you adjust to what's happening? Who you know type of thing. It's no longer about work hard, get ahead, go to college, get the degrees. They lie to you. Survival skills, know-how. That's going to be the only way out of this, and working together with people who are going in the same direction as you. All of this, the way it's so clear, people never change. And that's one of the biggest indicators, again, that you're dealing with an NPC, because even with the world on fire, and you just have some people say, well, my personality is a fun, bubbly person. My personality is I love to travel and I do this and that. That means no matter what's happening in the environment around you, the world could be on fire, it could be an economic collapse, it could be all out chaos, and all you thinking about is fun and having a good time. Even when you look at something like how military get down, how they have their camaraderie, they can laugh and joke and smile and play when it's time to. But when it's time to get real and shit get serious, they can also switch to that. So when you're surrounded by people who can never switch to another mode, in their default mode, in their only structured, the only way that they always are is fun, 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 travel, 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 let's enjoy, let's enjoy, let's enjoy. Stay away from those people. They can't offer you nothing when the shit get real, because they never practiced on that. They never even considered that shit could get real one day, because they made their whole identity and outlook on life is, my personality is fun, I'm bubbly, this and this and that. That's why I tell people all the time, I'm the dark half and the light half of the yin yang sign. Hope this helps. Rob God out.